I want to thank you for coming in today and sort of reminding me of my past. My late mother was a double leg amputee and spent time in a wheelchair. And so I'm very aware of every curb cut, the width of, a doorway, whether a restroom is truly accessible, which they're not. That awareness never leaves. And being very infuriated when I see a parking space utilized by someone that should not be using it. But one of the things I do remember is every time we wanted to go out on some kind of outing, and at the time my children were small, we were planning, when I would pick up my mother, how I would get her in my van, how we would get in, helping her to the restroom if she would need changing. And at that time, there just weren't any adult changing stations. So any kind of event we planned, there was a lot of time spent ahead of time planning and then actually doing it. I guess in my mother's favor, she was afraid to fly prior to being in a wheelchair, so afterwards she had no desire, either. So we didn't have to deal with that issue. But is that in the ADA regulations for adult changing stations, or is there any room for that legislatively within the state, if anybody knows?
I do not know. I'll call on you. You can answer that.
I do. Hi, I'm Sherry Landis. I'm the Executive Director of the ARC of Pennsylvania. I believe Representative Dan Miller has put in legislation in the past requiring adult changing stations. I'm not sure if he reintroduced it this session, but
Okay.
It's something that he has advocated in the past.
Oh, we'll speak with him. And then the other question you were saying about Uber and Lyft, if they're getting complaints, you don't know about it, and you were referring to Act 164, and I don't know, is something we can do that would require them to, share that information with you or with some other agency within the state?
Yes, I mean, this is a topic that the Parking Authority is talking about frequently, is requiring Uber and Lyft to provide more basic data by law. So complaints is a big issue. We want to make sure that they're being handled properly, and even basic trip data to help us ascertain, and understand the information that we need to in order to make sure that there's proper service. So this is something that we're currently advocating for, is to require TNCs under the law to provide very basic data to us, including complaints.
All right, and thank you for coming today, because I know it took a lot of planning and effort to get here. Thank you.